Shalom, y'all. Not gonna lie to y'all, this was supposed to come out yesterday on the holiday, but sadly, some things kind of got out of hand. But hey, we here now. Hopefully, y'all gonna be able to learn something when I do this one. Also, while I'm at it, happy Purim! And also, happy late destruction of Nicanor. Yeah, woo! Most High in Christ bless! Yeah, I'm pretty late. There's a good chance this might not even come out the day that I'm recording, so that's 2 days off, but still, once again, hopefully y'all gonna be able to watch this class. Also, there's a good chance that IOIC is going to be doing a class on destruction of Nicanor and a class on Purim. Y'all might want to try to go to their page, see if they have anything up there. Once again, just look up IOIC in the classroom. So this one's going to be about one of the holidays that I just talked about, which is the destruction of Nicanor. Now, I'm just going to give a little quick summary to make sure everyone's not kind of just out there. Nicanor was a Syrian Seleucid under King Antiochus and Demetrius Soter during the Hellenistic period. And us Jews was also there, but we was under the Ptolemies. We was given some privileges, I guess you could say kind of like how we are now, except they was very determined and was really trying to force their Hellenism on us. Alchemist, which is a very wicked Jew. He's one of us, but he's very wicked. So Alchemist, the wicked Jew, he was kind of on that, greedy timing. He wanted to be a higher seat, have a higher seat, be a higher priest. He was on that Hatronite timing. So he went to King Demetrius and basically just sucked up on him. And while being a suck up for the king, he did what any person in their right mind would do. Made one of the most diabolical and absolutely wicked accusations on Judas Maccabees and his people. Which Judas, we'll get into how he is later on. Basically, Alchemists just wished death upon them. So then Demetrius sent Cadus, which Cadus came through to Jerusalem, and he came with a few wicked men, which also came with Alchemists, which also brought a few wicked Israelites. They went to Jerusalem, and while being on the mission to kill the people there, he spoke very smoothly. Which you should also take notes on that and know that just because someone seems to be peaceful, that doesn't mean that they're always going to be about peace all the time. In fact, they probably aren't about peace at all, this is a good example. So the Assyrians also tried to speak peace and thought that the other people was at peace because, they had Alchemist there, which was a fellow Jew. Or at least they thought he was. So you wanted to know what Cassius and them did while looking like that they spoke peace. They took, tricked, and killed the people there. Alchemist sadly got his spot, or at least got a country in a high seat. But he wanted a higher seat. He wanted more power. But then Judas, which was the dude I was talking about earlier, Judas Maccabees, he started to see things. He started to realize that Alchemist was the cause of all this. Now, see, Judas Maccabees, he's a very war-driven man. He's a man of war. He's a full warrior of God. And when he heard this, he was ready to get his weapons and he was all in for the godly smoke. He was about vengeance and he was livid when he heard about this. But Judas and his men got ready as they realized that Alchemist was the person that did this. After Alchemist was found out, Alchemist did what any person in the right mind would do. Went back to the king again and sucked up even more as he could. And the king this time, instead of sending Cassius, he sent someone a little more hateful. He sent Nicanor. Now, the thing about Nicanor is, he's a little more, I guess you could say, spiteful to the Jews. If I were to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure he was Hitler before Hitler could even be Hitler. And Nicanor went there, and while being as hateful and as spiteful to the Jews as he was, somehow he was able to speak smoothly. He was able to speak smoothly to the Jews. Which, once again, take notes. People that could hate your guts can also pretend to love you at the same time. And the crazy thing is, Judas actually believed him that he was trying to be peaceful. And then he figured out what his real goals were. And when he figured out, everything broke loose, and that's when the war started. And just think about how strong and powerful our men are with what I'm about to say. Judas and his men killed around 5,000 people. Like, you can't tell me that's not some crazy strength feats, some crazy godly feats for our people. Nah, they was on that godly timing. Everyone talk about having that dog. We got that God in them. Like, what you talking about?
Whoa, brother, whoa, now. You got too much dip on your chip.
After Nicanor and his people basically had their butt handed to him, Nicanor then got the nerve to laugh and mock us, which showed his true colors of how much he hated us. Then he basically just threatened us that he will burn the temple if we don't go ahead and serve him. And then he left. So then afterwards, Judas heard that and the rest of the people, and they came through just absolutely shambled, because they was not trying to let this temple go to dust. Basically, Judas and them went ahead and prayed for God to smote and kill the enemies of them. Which, this prayer will definitely come into good play when it comes through. Afterwards, after a little placing around the place, that's when the two sides finally came back. Nicanor and Judas. They both get ready to clash down with the people behind them. And as the thing happens, remember that prayer I told you about earlier? Look at that. The first person to die on the battlefield is Nicanor. Just fathom that, bro. Someone as high up put as Nicanor, and you die first. You was the first person to be slain. You can't tell me that's some powerful stuff, bro. So the rest of the people that saw it, they basically just fled and ran around through the towns. So we basically took all the enemies out of the town, rounded them up, and then slain them one by one. Not a single one was spared. I must say, it must have been really great to see. And that pretty much sums down. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you guys are celebrating the destruction of Nicanor. Also, something to know. Nicanor is not a Sabbath. Nicanor is a normal day. You basically just enjoy it, being happy, knowing the fact that our people was able to get this good win, being able to put down this hateful person against us, being able to stick at the top. It's basically a normal day. You're able to buy, you're able to sell, you're able to work, you're able to heat up things. You can do all of that. It's basically just a normal day. Now, Barim, on the other hand, I don't know. You'll see when I do that video. But for the moment, though, happy late destruction of Nicanor. Love you guys. Shalom.